Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is MMA AM. It's half morning show, half mixed martial arts show, pretty much all BS. I am LK from Kocosports.net, proud to bring you MMA AM for the 15th of February 2017, right into your YouTube subscription boxes. And we're going to be covering some UFC 208 today. Sadly, I'm going solo today. Does happen from time to time. And also, if you're listening to this, this show will be able to be seen on video and heard on video. Obviously, if you don't actually watch the video but have your headphones in, another story, another time, on YouTube, right here on the Kocosports.net YouTube channel. Also, it will also be available on iTunes. So if you're on your way to work, if you're at the gym, you don't have to have Wi-Fi. You can just, boom, play it. Download and play it. And MMA AM, you just find there, click the title, and boom. I'll upload it as soon as it uploads here. I'll upload it on there. With that in mind, we're going to cover some UFC 208 action. If you're watching live right now, the live comments on YouTube, please put in the comments, what were your thoughts on UFC 208? And once we finish breaking this bad boy down, I'll read them live on the air. With that in mind, let's get breaking down of this show. So UFC, I writ 198 at the top. I must have been a tired bastard. So UFC 208 featured Ryan LaFleur versus Rowan Carneiro in the welterweight division action in the exclusive UFC Fight Pass prelim. Round one, I graded it or judged it, as they say, 10-9 to LaFleur. Round two, 10-9 to LaFleur, including a right-handed knockdown, which is really nice. And then round three, 10-9 to Carneiro. He had a strong last minute in full mount. During this was a really interesting one. During the fight, Carneiro's head hit a camera. I've never seen that. And Joe Rogan, who is absolutely hysterical on commentary, I absolutely adore Joe Rogan's commentary. He's the best UFC commentator I've heard. And he's out there and he's screaming. You know, I've never seen this before. Like the referee, who, by the way, if you're a referee in the New York State Commission, what went on this past Saturday? Something drastically went wrong. And Joe Rogan bitch your ass for it, believe me. So my score was 29-28 to LaFleur. The official decision was Ryan LaFleur winning by unanimous decision. Post-fight, Ryan LaFleur gets emotional, talking about, you know, being in New York, being the guy who advocated for so long to be able to compete in his home of New York. And it was a cool moment. And I won my bet. Basically, the backstory to this is I placed a bet. One bet. That's just a lie. I placed bets all on the show. So if you didn't catch there was 4 previews of UFC 208, and again, iTunes listeners, they aren't available because I wasn't uploading them then, but you can go back on the Kocosports YouTube channel and access them. With that in mind, we did previews with 3 co-hosts, and each co-host gave a different opinion. And I took them, compared them, and I bet. I spent £10. I went in with £10, I spent it. I came out with £12.63. I won £2.63 with bets. That's what I'm talking about. Basically, there's a rule where I have with myself, if I'm going to bet every fight night, which is once every week, £10 is the maximum I can spend, which is £40 a month. So if I spend £40 and I make fucking £8, more power to me. So I won the bet with that one, which is a good one. And then we have Rick Glenn versus Felipe Nova in featherweight division action. I judged round 1, 10-9 to Nova. It was a tough call, though, but I just feel that he landed better strikes. Round 2, 10-9 to Glenn. Another tough call, another very close round. And round 3, I put 10-9 to Glenn. Again, I found this a tough call. It was a really close fight. So my official score was 29-28 to Glenn. The official decision was Glenn winning by split decision. So I won the bet again. Well, like you say, I won the bet, but let's call a spade a spade. You know, Loudmouth MMA, MMAtakeover.com, and Joe's Loaded MMA podcast. Shout out to all 3 of you guys. They came on last week, and they'll be on again this week. I know tomorrow I have Keith from the MMAtakeover.com website come on the show. Friday, I've got Kyle from Loudmouth MMA. Subscribe to both of them on iTunes. And on Sunday, I'm having an official MMA referee. Now, let me get up his name because I don't want to butcher or get it wrong because I'm what's called a imbecile. Bobby Wumbacher. I think that's how you say his name. He's an actual official MMA referee, and I'm going to have him on the show on Sunday. Talk about some referee business. It's going to be very late if you're watching on YouTube, and it'll probably be uploaded Monday on iTunes. So, with that in mind, decent fight, though. I did kind of enjoy the Rick Glenn. And the things with this pay-per-view in general, lots of people online didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed. Now, this was my first full pay-per-view because I watched the Fight Pass prelim, which only one fight, but doesn't really matter. All the early prelims and the full pay-per-view event. With that in mind, I enjoyed it. If you didn't, please put in the comments why, because I'll be fascinated to see why. Because I don't know if it's because I'm not as hardcore as some of these MMA fans or as long-term. You know, I've only been a fan of mixed martial arts for about a month. So to hear this, it was kind of like, oh, okay, I enjoyed it. Was I wrong to enjoy it? Who knows? And then Nick Lentz versus Islam Makhachev in lightweight division action. I gave all 3 rounds to Makhachev, including the third round I gave 10-8. So my score was 30-26 to Makhachev. The official decision was Makhachev winning by unanimous decision. I won the bet, and then post-fight, Makhachev says Lentz has toughness, and he calls out Mayweather. That made me jack. We called out Floyd Mayweather. And there's some business going on with Mayweather and McGregor. This is MMA shows. It's half mixed, half morning show, pretty much all BS, as you guys know. We can just talk about the news. And what I've been reading, now there's lots of different sources. Now, if you don't watch, or not watch, if you're not up to date with, you know, what goes on in pro wrestling, there's different, they're called dirt sheets in pro wrestling. Okay, now bear with me, MMA fans, bear with me, please bear with me. There is a reason for this story. When wrestling, this dirt sheet, takes a story and they rewrite it, and the next site rewrites it, the next site rewrites it. There's very rarely a source for this. Usually it's the Wrestling Observer or the PW Torch or the PW Insider, but you don't really know about those names, but it doesn't really matter. In MMA, I don't really know yet what these top sources are. You know, so I'm reading, you know, all these sites, and I don't know if these are legit, you know, until I read an ESPN article. And that was kind of like, okay, but where would this happen? Now, I had like an epiphany at work. You know, Dana White, he's a smart boy. You know, obviously UFC being bought for $4 billion. Surely they'll want to make profit off this fight. So what I had in mind is, wherever this takes place, wherever it takes place, for whatever promotion, how about, you know, they're waiting on the third party. That's what I've been reading. Why don't they just say, look, we'll give you a deal. You can do the fight. We'll pay you this much money, but it will be on exclusively UFC Fight Pass. That's the deal. Conor McGregor, you're a UFC signed fighter. That fight takes place on UFC Fight Pass. So people can either purchase the event at solo, or they buy the $9.99 a month. Think about it. Pay-per-view costs $60. UFC Fight Pass, $9.99. Plus, they can hook them by having all this other great content and potentially keep them. That's an idea. Dana White, if you're listening, you can personally pay me at my PayPal, which I won't give out live on air. I think that'd be great. Now, please put in the comments what you think of that idea. Or you can, if you're listening to iTunes, contact me at LK_Kocosports. What you think of that idea about putting the fight on Fight Pass? Because in my brain, I keep thinking Conor McGregor talking all this shit. He's still a UFC fighter. He's still under contract to UFC. So I know he don't really want to talk about. It's crazy. This Conor McGregor stuff is crazy. He's a once in a lifetime fighter. He's a once in a lifetime human being, to be honest. And the best thing about McGregor is normally like big time stars in any industry become assholes, minus Will Smith. I love Will Smith more than a straight man should. With that in mind, he just seems like a great guy. Like, I remember I saw a clip of him like a few months ago when he's like, he stops and pretends to fight with these guys, you know, give him fist bumps. He seems like a great guy. So more power to him. Where were we? Back to my UFC card. Wilson Hayes ranked 5 in the world versus Ulka Sasaki in the flyweight division. I really, really enjoyed this one. Ulka Sasaki was just being a right bell end, you know, sticking his tongue out, like egging him on. And he took it. He took it to Wilson Hayes. And I scored the round 1 to 10-9 to Hayes, round 2, 10-8 to Hayes. And I gave round 3 to Sasaki. You know, he had a really good last minute. He connected with some nasty elbows. I gave it 29-27 to Hayes. Hayes won by unanimous decision. It was my fight of the night so far. Obviously, there's a better one happening in just 2 fights' time. I won the bet, which is another plus side. So with that in mind, I actually recommend you to go watch this fight. Because this Sasaki chap, I tell you what, He was the cheekiest little bastard. He's there, like, come on, like, punch me. Like, he was being an absolute bellend. And they need that. They need characters. You know, if you're emotionally, I'm now emotionally connected to Ulka Sasaki because he's such a bellend. I want to see him get his ass kicked. I will pay to see this boy get his ass kicked. Do you know why? Because he's damn good at his job, which is making me hate him. He knows if there's a top big star, or not even a big star, if there's a guy who everyone loves, like a hometown boy, you know, a hometown boy, you know, the crowd are going to love him. And then you have Sasaki come in, like stick his tongue out, like wind him the fuck up, get under his skin, you know, cut. Like during the press conference, he literally got right in his face, and Dana White's like, whoa, separate. This guy, mark my words, this time next year, this guy will be in the top 15 in the world in the flyweight division. Mark my words, because that boy is a character, potential star written all over him. Watch, just mark my words. This is Sasaki. You may be thinking I'm an idiot. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put my hands in the air and I'll say I'm wrong. But this boy, I keep calling him boy, this man, he would kick the shit out of me. This man will be a star in the future. And then we have Randy Brown, and I won the bet for that again, so far so good. Randy Brown versus Belal Muhammad in welterweight division action. And it was strange how pretty much every fight, minus a few, went the full distance, which is very strange, you know, because the fight nights that have been happening has been very few and far between. That even the main event, even the championship fight, went the full 5 rounds. And you know, you get more value for your money, but it'll be good to see a little bit of a knockout every now and then. Here we go. So round 1, I gave 10-9 to Muhammad. He just pounding Brown's leg hard. I gave all 3 rounds to Muhammad. It was 30-27. Official Muhammad won. I lost the bet. I was a bit disappointed, but he was pounding Brown's leg in the opening round. That poor boy. And then we have the fight of the night. What I recommend everyone to go and watch right now. Dustin Poirier, ranked 10, versus Jim Miller in the lightweight division action. Round 1, I gave 10-9 to Miller. Last 20 seconds of just brawling was insane. Like, it was slow and steady, and then boom, something clicked, and these guys just went at it. And do you know what made it better is they egged it on once they finished, and there was a fist bump. It's like, yeah, we fucking brought it. We did it. It was amazing. And then round 2, I gave 10-8 to Poirier. Miller is in a mess, but he's a tough bastard. He was in a mess. He went through a war. In England, I don't know if you guys know about this, there's an expression going, oh, it looks like you just went 9 rounds of Mike Tyson. That's an expression used in England quite a bit. They just went fucking two rounds of Poirier and he was battered, but what a tough son of a bitch. Round 3, 10-9 to Miller. Miller kicks Poirier's leg so hard, so many times that Poirier couldn't even stand up post-fight. When he's doing his post-fight, Joe Rogan's literally carrying him, and he got carried to the back. And what was so good about this was there was literally 2 minutes left, and Miller just went for this massive kick that swiped his leg, and instantly Poirier knew that was it. So he quickly ran to the cage, pinned him up against the cage, just kept him there, and tried to keep him there as long as he could. And he couldn't punch because he couldn't use that left leg to pound through. And it was just a really great and interesting final round. And I recommend everyone to go back and watch this. So if you take anything away from this show, please take away that fight was so damn entertaining that you should go back and watch it right now. So my score is 28-28. One of the other judges gave that, which is a very nice one for me, that I can rest and reassure myself that I'm not an imbecile, because I gave 10-9 Miller, 10-8 Poirier, 10-9 Miller. So it was a 28-28. The official decision, though, was Poirier won. Sorry about that noise. Poirier won by decision. And then post-match, Poirier says, he prays his leg isn't broke, and says he's going to take some time to rest. And I don't blame you, boy. I don't blame you. And then I won the bet. I won the bet again. So we're on a rock and roll. Just imagine if I betted like £5 each fight, I'd be sat here with like money floating around like Kazuchika Okada. You guys probably didn't know what Kazuchika Okada is, but a while. And then we have Glover Teixeira, ranked 3, versus Jared Cannonier in like heavyweight action. This wasn't another, here we go. These are like the 4 fights now. They're on pay-per-view. The Jim Miller and Poirier fight was on pay-per-view. But here we go. So round 1, 10-9 to Teixeira. I gave very mat-based round with Teixeira in charge until Cannonier had explosive last 10 seconds. If it wasn't for the last 10 seconds, I would have gave it 10-8. Round 2, 10-9 to Teixeira. Ref making both. I didn't like the refs. Now, I've got a referee coming on Sunday. I'm going to talk to him about this, and I hope he watched the UFC 208 show because I'm talking to him about this. Basically, when they're wrestling in the cage, at the cage, on the ground, and if there's not much, punch or elbows or, just jabs or anything like that on the ground, the referee kind of brought them back up. Now, I know the state of New York's only been commissioned to have mixed martial arts in the state for not very long. I think it's a year, give or take a year coming up shortly. So with that in mind, I won't be too critical because Joe Rogan was critical enough. But by golly gosh, the refs he kept, he was like, he just wanted to. And Joe Rogan in the main event's like, he wants to get in there, he wants to stop it. Like, he's bored, the referee being bored. In the end of the day, if these guys are grappling, let them grapple. I enjoy watching a good grappling fight. So the referee just kept bringing them up after wrestling, and it annoyed me. But I gave 10-9 to Teixeira. Round 3, I gave 10-8 to Teixeira. He controlled all of that. 30-26 by score. The official result was 30-26. Post-fight, Teixeira says Cannonier is a tough guy and says he's going to step up to potentially become a champion. Now, maybe this was a cupcake. Maybe that Teixeira, they just want Teixeira to potentially just be in line for a future title fight. And that was way, but Glover, it was tough. Like, he seemed a bit down that he didn't knock him out or make him submit, but credit to Cannonier, he's a beast of a man. Absolute tank with a Ferrari engine. Beast of a man. And then we go Tim Butch, ranked 13 versus Jacare Souza, ranked 3 in the middleweight division. Actually, now I went in, I didn't anticipate the difference. Like, I thought, okay, there's only 10 rank difference. I didn't picture it being this big. But fuck me, round 1, Souza just came out Kimura submission victory. The champion of the middleweight division, if I am correct, if I'm not, I'm a dick, is Michael Bisping. So maybe with that win, and I know Michael Bisping has a title fight coming up shortly. I can't remember who against for the life of me, but I know he's got a title fight soon. I predict that the winner of that will face Jacare Souza. And right now it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday right now, so I might actually just, if you let me quickly check the UFC rankings on my mobile device, and obviously if you're listening on iTunes, just picture me on my phone going through UFC Fight Pass. So once this UFC Fight Pass gimmick loads, and I really recommend Fight Pass, and the app on the mobile is absolutely amazing because you can just check the rankings. So let me go to the division, which is middleweight. See if this rankings have been done yet. Chris Souza is still ranked 3. If I'm correct, it's Bisping versus Romero. Romero's ranked number 1, so I'm guessing that's the fight they went. But UFC confuses me because the number 1 ranked guy doesn't always get the title fight. That needs to stop. Like, I understand why they're doing it though, because they're a company and they want to make money. But damn it to God, post fight, Souza says Bisping has to stop running away from him. Interesting. Again, planting the seeds for Bisping versus Souza. Now, Bisping's English. He's my boy. I want Bisping to have this championship as long as he lives and until he retires. I'm very biased towards English mixed martial arts fighters. And here's an interesting story. What does it work today? The security guard, because we have a security guard on during school holidays, because kids are imbeciles in England, in case you didn't know, and you probably have that in America. And he is a mixed martial artist. I don't think he's professional. I think he's an amateur guy. He just does the local scene. He's security guard. He does jiu-jitsu, and he did mixed martial arts. Now, I don't know if he's in training, but he was a beast of a guy. Not too big. He was quite short. He was shorter than I am, but he had some mass on him, and he looked like he was in great shape. And if he came up to me and said, "Please, can you leave the store?" I would be out of that door before he finished the word store. I'd been out of that door. He's a fucking machine, and he was actually a really good guy. Shout out to the security guard who worked today. But I'm really interested in where Bisping. I'm praying Bisping retains because I want Bisping versus Souza. I think that'll be a great fight. And then we have this is where we get controversial now with the last 2 fights of the co-main event. You have Anderson Silva ranked 7 versus Derek Brunson ranked number 8 in middleweight division action. Round 1, I gave 10-9 to Brunson. Really fun last 2 minutes. It really picked up the pace. Brunson with loads of incredible strikes that connected, especially when he's in the clinch. He was kind of like in the clinch, you just uppercut, and he got so many strikes. I don't know what Silva was doing, but anyway, round 2, I gave 10-9 Silva, very close. And then round 3, 10-9 to Brunson, again, very close. But Brunson had the takedown. He had more strikes. He was being more active, especially when in the clinch, like I said, in the second round, he got him where he just got uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. So my score was 29-28 to Brunson. The official was 29-28 to Anderson Silva. Post-match, Silva cries and thanks the crowd and family. Now, if they're judges and they're like, okay, I hear the crowd reaction, does that favor them towards Anderson Silva because of the crowd reaction? But you got to remember, the crowd reaction wasn't always for the punching. It was when he's doing those dance gimmicks. So I don't think that was fair. I think that Brunson was robbed. He was robbed, but in the end of the day, and Dana White went on a show on Fox. It was just an interview on their YouTube channel. And he apologized about the quality of the fights, which was strange to me because I actually enjoyed it. But maybe the long-term hardcore MMA fans didn't. But I enjoyed it. Actually, I can't. Yeah, but then again, maybe if I watched, like, say 209's a fucking incredible pay-per-view, and I look back and I go, oh, that really wasn't that great, was it? But anyway, he basically said that, he got a text message from Derek Brunson and said, look, if you don't knock them out, if you don't knock these guys out or make them tap out and it's up to the judges, there is nothing I can do about it. I felt bad because, I gave the win to Brunson and he didn't win, and it annoyed me. And I lost the bet because of it. And that pissed me off even more. Okay, but judges, you owe me money. You fucked me hard. You fucked Brunson hard. Anderson Silva, you may be the greatest fighter of all time. Then that may not be questionable. He may be. Some say John Jones. But I say Anderson Silva from what I've seen. I've seen some incredible knockouts. But it's just he got robbed. I just feel so bad. Like, I want to phone up Brunson right now and say, buddy, everything will be okay. We know you won that fight, bro. We know you won that fight. Change your Wikipedia page. Say you won the fight. Say you are the guy who won via anonymous decision against Anderson Silva. Do it. Put it on your website. Put it on your social media pages because we all knew you won that fight. The judges were lying, imbeciles. Tell me I'm wrong. Again, contact me at LK Kocosports. If you're listening live on YouTube, put in the comments if you think I'm wrong or if I'm lying out of my asshole. Main event time. UFC Featherweight Championship on the line. The very first 145-pound women's division title here in UFC. So here we go. Round 1, 10-9 to Durandame. Very, very close. Round 2, I gave 10-9 to Holm, but after the buzzer goes off, Durandame does a brutal punch, a stinging punch to the head, should deduct a point. Do you know what the referee does? The referee goes over and says, look, don't do that again. Remember that. Round 3, 10-9 to Durandame. Last 10 seconds, Holmes with a nice head kick, and again, he went for another kick, but then again, the buzzer goes, and Durandame plows her with a punch after the buzzer, and the ref goes, do that again, and I'll take a point. Dude, you need to really knuckle down on these rules. If you don't make these rules strict, they will be broken. And if the rules get broken, that is an unsafe environment. That is not a safe environment. The referee is there to make it safe, not to make it unsafe. Unbelievable. Durandame should be punished. She should be fined. Okay, now, seemed like a lovely lady from all the video packages I've watched of her during the build-up week. Lovely lady. Maybe she didn't do it on purpose. But 2 times in a row, Joe Rogan is screaming. Like, she should have got deducted a point. Maybe even 2 points. If you need to enforce it, you need to have heavy penalties for these fighters so that and I'm not saying that the fighters don't appreciate the rules. I'm saying they'll respect the rules more. Anyway, round 4, 10-9 to Holm. She controlled with wrestling in the cage. The crowd booing at the wrestling, which it annoys me. It annoys me. I don't like it when the crowd are booing the wrestling. And then round 5, Holm, 10-9. So my score is 48-47 to Holm. Maybe even being at 48-45 because you deduct 2 points from Durandame, or 48-46 if you deduct 1 point from Durandame. The official scored at 48-47 for Durandame. So I won the bet. Because I betted Durandame, but I felt dirty doing it. When I got my Paddy Power money, I felt dirty doing it. Because it shouldn't have happened. It should have been Holmes. And, Brunson should have beat... In the record books, it'll say Brunson lost to Silva, but in my heart, Brunson beat Silva. And Durandame definitely didn't beat Holmes because she cheated. 2 out of the 5 rounds, that's nearly half the rounds, she ended with blows to the head that were disgustingly hard. You know, it's just not fair. It's not right. I felt bad for the lady. I felt bad for Miss Home, and I know she's appealing. I read today on somewhere that she's appealing, which is good for her. Good for her. I hope she fucking appeals and wins. Bad. The Loaded Joe's MMA podcast says, I told you Balor was going to do it. Carl and Keith don't know I was getting Joe's MMA podcast. He's a great character. He'll be on next week sometime because I'm fully booked for the rest of the week because on Thursday I've got Keith from MMATakeover.com, and then Friday Carl from MMATakeover.com, and then I've got Bobby Wumbacher who's an official referee for mixed martial arts. So that'll be exciting for you guys for MMA AM. And again, please subscribe to us on Kocosports.net YouTube channel. Check us out, Kocosports.net website. We'll be up to date with the news and gossip, etc., etc. Also, the iTunes, if you listen to on iTunes, thank you, and hit the subscribe button and give me a good review, give me a good rating, give me 5 stars. Give me a Dave Meltzer 5 stars. You probably had to type in who was Dave Meltzer, Reddit, and then click the X on this iTunes page. So that in mind, appreciate you all watching live. Appreciate the comments. I'll be back in 24 minutes, about half an hour now. Half an hour with Boom Booms. We'll be reviewing SmackDown Live. Now, in case you're wondering why there wasn't a show yesterday, it was Valentine's Day, and because of the new job I'm getting, it will mean that I work from 9 to 5, which means I won't be able to stay up and watch wrestling live. It means I'll be able to watch wrestling when I come home from work and then review it in the later evening. So wrestling reviews, Wrestle AM on Wrestle AM. So wrestling reviews on Wrestle AM will be a day after. So for example, Tuesday you'll get Raw, Wednesday you'll get SmackDown review, Thursday NXT review, Friday Impact, Monday pay-per-view. So with that in mind, new schedule. I'm excited for this new job. If I get it, it's not a guarantee, but this will mean I'll be a very happy boy. I'll be an administrator for a big company. I'll be excited for that. So with that in mind, I appreciate you guys watching on iTunes. Appreciate you guys watching on the YouTube channel. Make sure you stay safe. Make sure you stay well. And I'll be catching your asses down the line.